and Fairfax is in the house. Guys, this is really awesome. We're getting folks still logging in here right now. We will give them just another minute or two. I'm super excited to bring out our featured investors today, coming all the way from, I believe, Maple Grove, Minnesota. Hopefully I said that correct. And they told me earlier that they've got a heat wave. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means it's in the 20s and that's a heat wave, or in the teens and it's a heat wave, or just breaking zero. So we'll get them out here shortly. And guys, this property tour runs till about 5 till the hour. We do have, right after this property tour, we do have a live business introduction Zoom. It's a live Zoom link, our meeting. I apologize here, I'm stumbling a little bit. It's at a different link. So if you'd like to join us afterwards to learn more about our community, more about our education, more about our group, and what we do and how we do it, get back with whoever invited you and they can send you that link and get you registered. That starts at 12 o'clock Eastern. Let's see here. How are we doing on time? We're about 2 after. We'll give 1 more minute. I know Anna and Roy are ready to go. We've already checked in with them, and they got great video and great audio. And again, if you guys could please keep your audio on mute, that will really help with background noise. And then also, you can type in the chat room questions, and we will get to those toward the end of the property tour today. So please type those in as you go along, and we will hit as many of those as we can. And then we'll kind of go over their numbers. Obviously, we've got a screen that I'll pull up and share their numbers toward the end. So well, let's go ahead and get started, guys. I still see lots of people jumping on. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Let's go ahead and bring Anna and Roy out. Let's see. I'm okay. Can you guys come on?
Yep, yeah, we're here.
There you are.
At 0.
Hey. Well, you got to tell everybody, Maple Grove, Minnesota, for folks that are not familiar, is that near Minneapolis? How far is it from Minneapolis?
We're half an hour west. It's a hot suburb, lots of new builds, huge shopping area. So great area. Wow, exciting to see it. So many people from all over the country on here.
Yeah, great to be here on this Saturday morning.
Isn't it amazing? We've got people from all over the country on, and I kind of gave the guys, if they were on already or they're just getting on now, I'll go ahead and repeat it. Next Saturday, we've got the group, we've got our team from Hawaii coming out. They're going to get up at 4 in the morning so they can do their property tour with us.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. Talk about the different spectrums of the weather and the temperature. We're going to go from Maple Grove, Minnesota, which is a suburb of Minneapolis, all the way down to Hawaii into like 1 week.
Well, maybe we'll just show up live.
You betcha.
Oh, that'll
should. We all should. We should all jump on a plane. Well, hey, guys, we want to respect everybody's time today, and I don't want to take any more time away from your featured property, so take it away.
Yeah, well, I'll let Roy introduce
our
so story.
Anna and Roy, we are husband and wife team. We have been a part of this investor community for 2 years. My background is in journalism as well as filmmaking, did some filmmaking and charity. I started out in Uganda, East Africa. My wife, Anna, was born and raised in Minnesota.
Yeah. Roy invests full-time. I work part-time. I have cut my hours as we've ramped up our real estate investing. I have my doctorate and run an outpatient surgical center for kids. So very exciting work. I've poured my heart into getting my doctorate and love serving the families. I think what we love about real estate investing is just we know we're on the path to freedom of our time so we can help more people. We love growing our team, growing this community, and financial freedom.
Yes.
So we can hop into the deal.
The deal, yeah.
Yeah.
So like we say, this is Maple Grove, Minnesota. And this deal came across our desk from a wholesaler within our community. They just blasted it onto Facebook. And because we're always shopping for deals, and it's a seller's market, but we still are able to find deals if we have the right networks. So this came across our desk and it was an off-market deal. And they were asking for $290,000. And in this area of town that we run the comps, and that made sense to us. So essentially we actually made an offer
before we saw it.
Well, before the open house. They wanted to hold an open house. But once we saw it, we compared it to what we'd been looking at. We're like, this looks like a good deal. We went into our software and really ran numbers, looked at comparable properties and how much they had sold for. And this really made sense for us. So we drove the neighborhood, made an offer before coming to the open house. So,
and we've been, a part of the community, learning, growing for 2 years. We did about 10 fix and flips with other team members in our first year. And then this is our second one we've done by ourselves. We've also owned a rental unit and owned some land. So excited to show you this deal. Maybe
that's amazing, Anna and Roy. So in your first year, you did 10 deals. You partnered with other folks from our community, and you did 10 deals in your first year.
We did.
That's amazing. That's awesome. And neither one of you guys prior to 2 years ago had any investing background?
No.
So this real estate investing is something that I looked into way back in Africa, but I lacked the mentorship and the system and education to get me into it. And then when I moved to the US in 2012, I started investigating and I looked at a bunch of seminars and bought a bunch of products, but because of the lack of community, I didn't really go far. So really joining this community 2 years ago really catapulted us because of the support.
Yeah, we worked super hard. Some of the deals we were just giving our time so that we could learn from community members. Some of them we did equity partnerships using our credit, building our business credit. So I'm thankful for the community for sure, and just plugging into a system. So So like Roy said, we actually got this deal from a wholesaler in the community, and we can actually look at the before pictures. I don't know, Scott or Yaz, if you could pull up the before pictures. We can look.
I'm not able to. I'm actually in the field. I just left one of my properties heading to another one, and I pulled over to the side of the road. Maybe if Yaz is in front of her computer, she could pull that up.
I think I can.
Are you able to do it?
Let me see.
Do you have your phone straight up and down, or do you have it sideways?
Straight up and down.
Can you turn it sideways?
I have them open if you guys want me to share.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thanks, Yaz.
Sure.
Yeah, so I guess as you go through the pictures, we could probably kind of narrate.
Yeah.
Would this work like this?
It does. Do you want to click on the one of us holding that, and we'll just go from there?
Sure.
So we acquired this property on November 2nd. Okay, so it took us 2 weeks to close. We first learned of the property end of October. We made an offer, and then we started doing our due diligence. And that's something you'll learn all about. And also finding our private lenders. So we did this deal with none of our own money, none of our own personal credit. We used private lenders and leveraged our business credit. And so then we can progress. In November, we had some unusually warm weather. So one of the first things we did was painted the exterior. This is a house that had very good bones. During our due diligence, we bought the property as is, but we had a contingency that there is lending that was satisfactory to us. And so we're doing our due diligence. We had an inspector that's a part of our community come out and look at it as well. And from that, we knew right away that we needed a new furnace and new AC. So it was great during our due diligence. We were able to build that line item budget. Having a budget is essential, but we liked the property. It's a Rambler. It is 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. We did not change anything structurally. So great backyard. It's a 2-car garage that we just cleaned up. So, and then the next photos, we can keep going. Here you can see the entryway. And so this is a Rambler. Ramblers have a great amount of living space. So there's 2 separate kind of living dining rooms on the main level. There's 3 bedrooms. Those arches, they were the only arches in the whole house. So during our due diligence period, as we were deciding on our budget, we did determine whether or not those were load bearing or not. And so you'll see the update in the new photos when I give you the tour. So you can just see, there's old popcorn ceiling. The flooring looked a lot worse in person. It was quite beat up. All sorts of colors. This house had every color of the rainbow represented, and lots of paint where it didn't belong. And so, but we liked the bones. We loved the flow of the house. And as you become, as your investor, if you are an investor, you have your own idea of what you love to work on and what you don't. And this house just made us excited. But even more so, the numbers worked well. So at the end of the day, it's about numbers and doing a great job managing the project. So these are some progress photos. You can see we ended up taking out those, I call them the McDonald arches. But we scraped all the popcorn ceilings off, okay? And one of the, we have great coaching through this community, and we did a call with our coach before, and he really helped guide us in understanding what to do and what not to do by looking at the comparables in the neighborhood. So like our target ARV, we had our target after repair value as well as our break-even numbers, right? So you can lose money in real estate, so you have to know your numbers and you have to have the knowledge. We knew we needed to keep repairs at $60,000, and the initial contractor bid came back at $35,000. And we also wanted a large contingency so that we could end on budget. And so we negotiated. We used the knowledge we've gained through negotiations, and we were able to have him bring his bid down to $27,000. But a part of that was Roy helped with the demo, and I helped with the painting. So that's about the extent of our handy skills. But anyways, so you can see this is the owner's suite. There was no closet, again, bright blue. And then the
You gotta love those colors, don't you, Anna? You gotta love them.
And they were like everywhere you wouldn't want them. Like in the kitchen had the bedroom paint in it. So anyways, you can see we added a closet. That's another view of it. Decent size. Size of the bedrooms helped us determine the ARV as well. The owner's suite bathroom was ADA compliant, and we made the decision to turn it back into a single family home. The whole first floor was ADA compliant. But again, good bones, good bones. So that's progress. So we ended up doing a new shower, which you'll see. And then we can progress to out of here because you'll see all those updates, but you can see we like to take photos as we go. We come, almost every other day at least, just making sure the project is progressing. You have to be active.
Yeah, and I'll talk briefly about the contractor and how do you find the contractor? Because investing in real estate, essentially, you don't have to have the skills to do the whole job. You could chip in here and there. Like we said, we negotiated and brought a little bit of labor to the deal just to keep within the our rehab costs. But like I said, you don't have to have the skills to do this. So how did we find the contractor? So we are always in the business of building relationships. Building relationships. That's a currency in itself, right? And so we've been vetting contractors. When you go to Home Depot, there is a contractor's desk. So you could always ask and vet their work. Go check out what they're doing. So this particular contractor, we hired him for some of the projects we've worked on in the past. So we saw his work and so we liked his work and that's why we hired him for this project.
Yep. Like they say, every project you have to rebid it. So and like Roy said, like every deal has, time, money, skills. In the previous deals we did in the community, we really leveraged our time. We didn't, this is well over a $300,000 project. We did not have that money, but we were able to work with someone in the community who wanted to make more money with their retirement account, right? So what we've learned is how to raise capital and work with private and hard money lenders. This project was all private money. So I think you've seen a fair amount of the before pictures. We could jump into the tour.
Just before we jump into the tour, I think you did an amazing job designing. So we are partners on this and there is different roles that we play, essentially. She's the designer, so I would take credit for that. She designs and I implement. Like you saw one of the pictures, she was testing out paint samples because depending on what colors you have in the house, you want to make sure that it's really flowing nicely as opposed to what it was before, pink and red and green and blue. So that design is a big part of projects, really getting a really good project.
Yeah, and some people hire designers. I love the designing. I'm not perfect at it, but really like the goal is to make the house flow, but also make the budget work. So where can you add some extra features? What do you need to do for the comparables in the neighborhood? So Scott, question, can I flip my phone back the other way for the tour or should I leave it this way?
I would leave it that way because we get a much better view and it fills the screen up better.
Okay, so there's the flip. Okay, Bear, flip in the camera. Okay, so I'll just show you outside quick. Here we go. See, it's nice and warm. Look at that sun. Okay.
No falling on ice. Okay.
Right. So we just painted the garage, painted the stucco. Really simple. There was one of our concerns when we did our initial walkthrough. There was a little water in the basement, but they helped us figure out real soon it was leaking along here. So we had to repair that. And then this wood was all rotted. So we knew ahead of time that we were going to repair that. Again, the more you can figure out ahead of time, you can do that line item budget. So here's the entryway. You can see we took out those arches. Bye-bye arches. And we added a closet. There was no front closet. So you will see it flows. We kept all the lighting really simple, matte black. Most of the lighting I get off Amazon. You have to be good at sourcing things. And so you just, the more you do, you know what you want to pay and not pay. We had a few different choices for flooring. Okay, you can do wood, you can do luxury vinyl, you can do laminate. And so how do you know what to do? Again, the comparables in the neighborhood. And so given our ARV, we went with wood. So that's that. So I'll go right. Okay, so you walk in the door and there's the kitchen, dining, and a living area. And then there's this whole extra row of cabinets and this room. Okay. And so we'll start here. We kept the walls white. Okay. The best color for resale is gray. Okay. Repose gray is huge. And when we tried that out, it just really clashed with the cabinets. We were determined to keep these cabinets. They're good quality. They're maple. And this is a lot of cabinets you would have to replace. You're looking at an easy $5,000, and the budget was fairly tight. This is a 2,800 square foot house. And that's a fairly large house in Minnesota. So we kept the cabinets the same, but simple, changing the hardware, that goes a long ways. I get all our hardware off Amazon, and I'm picky. I want it to hold up for the future homeowners. So I've gotten good, and now I just store them in our garage. So for the comparables in the neighborhood, we knew we needed to do a solid stone counter. So we got this quartz from Home Depot. We're used to paying about $53 a square foot with install for solid stone. This originally was $76 a square foot installed, and we were able to get it on sale before Christmas for $48 a square foot. So those savings all add up, and I love Black Friday. So yeah, and Amazon Prime Day. So you can see we did all new stainless steel appliances. Again, those were Black Friday specials. A new hood fan. Since we were keeping the cabinets, I really wanted something to make this area pop, right? Because we are in, close to, we listed it for $445. So we're close to a $500,000 house, which is quite a bit in Minnesota. Okay. This isn't California or the East Coast. So one of the ways we made it pop was adding paneling around the island. Okay. Super simple to do, to not cost much, but it adds that, makes it look a little higher end. I love this color. It's Midnight Blue by Benjamin Moore. We had it mixed up at Home Depot, another way to save money. So, so then we kept the walls in the main area all one color to make it flow. This is Dove White by Benjamin Moore, and kept it simple. Trim, same color, just higher gloss. We did do all new trim, new flooring. The windows were good, which is huge. It's nice when those things are good. So I'll take you into the owner suite. Here's just that view from there. Great functional living space. Okay, so here's the owner suite. New light and new closet. One of the debates we had was, do we put a closet on both sides? And we just felt like it was going to make it way too crowded. And so we went with adding a closet here. So that's a fairly large closet. So here's that shower. We kept it very simple and did the marble-like tile. This is $1.99 at Home Depot. Once you have the materials you like, you tend to just use them all over. I wanted to go with a different floor, and this is one of the lessons. Roy was really good at helping me grow and realizing it's not my dream house. So we went with the $4 per square foot tile instead of the $15, right? And in the end, it looks beautiful. We added this rain shower, just again, given our ARV to make it look a little more luxurious. So we like to add those things where we can and save money where we can. One place we saved a lot of money was the floor. This looks like tile, but it's actually luxury vinyl plank. It's about the same cost as other tile we've used, but the labor is much less intensive. So that's one way. Another way we save money is finding vanities off Facebook. A lot of people buy vanities and they don't fit, and we benefit from that. So this initially was a $700 vanity on Wayfair that we got for $200 off of Facebook. So new light fixtures, always check like your building stores, warehouses, Lowe's and Home Depot. They tend to hide their sales at the end of the aisle. And so these were clearance. So we had all sorts of grand plans initially for this bathroom, like moving the vanity over here and getting a double vanity. But it came down to our strategy was to get in and out of this project. So it ended up being a 10-week project. Again, we acquired it November 2nd, and it was on the market by January 16th, and we had an offer that first weekend that we ended up booking. So again, the main level has 3 bedrooms. The family that bought it has 2 little girls, so we're excited they can all be on the main level. So here's another one of the bedrooms. We did carpet in the bedrooms, just again, a budget decision. Home Depot has a great deal for contractors. So we got this for $1.89. It's per square foot installed with the pad, which saved us $3,000 compared to what we were gonna buy. So here's the 3rd bedroom. Nothing fancy. In the bedrooms, we did go with Repose Gray just because we don't, white's not everyone's favorite color. I love it because it's clean. But again, what is best for resale? What's going to get us the top dollar? Here's that other bathroom. Initially, I was thinking we could keep this bathroom, just clean it up. And boy, was I wrong. Once you start fixing other things, you see how outdated things are. So simple subway tile. Mirror we got at Home Goods. Again, clearance lights. Same flooring and vanity from Home Depot. So pretty simple but clean. I like to do things that appeals to lots of different people's style and taste. Like I didn't want to lock the house into one style, one taste. This fireplace, we painted it, and that's about it. We did not know if it was functioning, so when we put it on the market, we disclosed that we didn't know if it was working. You should do your own inspection. At one point in the project, we were planning on putting a gas fireplace in, but it was just going to open up a lot of other expenses related to the gas line and a different electric permit for that. So we just decided to let the homeowners decide. I recently did a survey, and in Minnesota, it's 50-50 whether people like gas or wood burning. So they get to decide. The other thing, we'll go into the basement now, and remember that basement was bright orange. So one thing we did was try to make the upstairs and the basement flow. So the paint color from the island, we carried that into the basement. The wall colors, we carried that into the basement. So You're going to love this basement. If anyone who likes to entertain, this is a great space for it. So same carpet and definitely not the same color. That orange paint was everywhere. And there was a little girl who lived here, and like these rails, she literally put a smiley face on every one. So these we just sanded down. But yeah, so you can see pretty basic, just paint. We added doors here. I love how the navy pops with these pine ceilings. When we put on the market, we staged this area as a little yoga place, and then this was staged as an office. It has a huge bedroom down here. It's actually 11 by 18 square feet. So there was an existing egress window. So very basic, just new lights. So behind this wall right here is a half bathroom. We thought about making it a full bathroom, and then you have like a mother-in-law suite down here. But again, our strategy was to get in and out. You don't have to do it all. You can do it all, but we didn't want to. So just know what you want to do and what you don't want to do. New tile, we leveled the floor, new vanity. Very basic. We worked hard not to overdo it because it's very easy to overdo these projects and end up way over budget. Mechanical room. It's large. I'm not going to go in there, but new furnace, new air conditioner. We actually found the HVAC person through the community, which is awesome. Yeah, so this room, if you remember, the ceiling was open, so we sheetrocked that. We added a closet here because you could see all the plumbing, okay? In Minnesota, radon is a big deal. The house already had a radon mitigating system, which was nice, but we disguised it and have an access panel there. Other than that, paint, we had to replace some of the wood. And again, just making sure it flows. Roy and I are not handy people, but we did a little marriage therapy and did this tile together. So the basement has a drain tile system with 2 sump pumps, but it was right here and you couldn't walk across the floor without standing on it. So we built this so you could stand here. And so then we just did these peel and stick tiles. And, you know, like most things in these older houses, it's not square. So it was great marriage therapy. We survived. But it turned out great. We replaced the countertop. It was a really unusual shape, and it was going to cost a lot more to replace because of that. We were getting quotes at like $800, and so we just ended up ignoring the old design and doing butcher block. $400, Home Depot, super simple. And the more we do this, we're going to learn how to source even better deals. We are understanding more and more the details, the ins and outs, and we're just getting going, but we're excited how this turned out. So laundry
It's
room.
absolutely beautiful, Anna. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. So I hope that was a good tour, and we're
It was.
happy
It
to
was.
answer questions.
And I see why Roy let you be the designer.
Thank you. It's
Yeah,
fun when you're passionate, like things you love doing. Like when we both think back, like Roy loved real estate as a kid. My sister and I used to go to open houses and redesign the houses as kids. And then life took me down the pathway of going into healthcare, which I love, but man, retirement, it's not that far away. So we're excited to have this new area and to be growing with the community. So
Well, awesome. Well, let's jump into some questions so we have time to go over numbers too. How's that sound?
Sounds good. And
Okay, so
what time is it? Just so I'm cognizant.
it's 10:36 your time.
Oh, perfect.
So
Okay.
so we've got about 20 minutes, a little less. And
Yeah.
I do want to remind everybody before we go through these questions and then go through the numbers, if you guys if this is your first property or one of your first exposures to our national team, as you guys have maybe heard earlier, we've got folks from all over the country on. A lot of those folks are already a part of our real estate family. We call it a family. And, Roy and Anna are up in Minneapolis area in Maple Grove, which is a suburb west of Minneapolis. I'm down here in Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky. But we've got folks on from all over the United States. So if this is your first event that you've been to, or maybe your second, and you'd like to learn more about our community that Anna and Roy referred to when they talked about building relationships, using other people's money, and the experience and the help that they got, the mentorship and the support, get back with who invited you, because right after this at 12 o'clock Eastern, or 11 o'clock Central, we're going to have a live business introduction meeting, which is a separate link. And you'll want to get back with who invited you so they can get you registered and get that link sent over. So if you're on right now and you have some time afterwards, an hour afterwards, definitely go ahead and send that text now or communicate with the person who invited you. But let's jump into questions here. So many compliments. Like I said, they're just, I really love your taste. I got a lot of good ideas from this property tour, by the way. So thank you for sharing all those. Let's see what let's jump into here. Paint. Why did you just not repaint them to match the paint you could when two-tone on the cat? So I guess they're talking about the cabinets, the maple cabinets. You kept those the original color?
We did, and I actually got a lot of opinions on this because I love the look of painted cabinets, and there's a lot of great colors out there. If it's not done well, cabinets, the paint is going to chip. And I just didn't, we really care about the home that we're giving the buyers, and I didn't think we had it in the budget to hire like the professional that just does cabinets, and we don't have the experience yet to know how to best hire that person. So
if I had to put that in a budget, as many cabinets that you have in that house, there's a ton of cabinets in there.
There are.
And if you're going to go in there and prep those, if you were going to prep those maple cabinets to accept paints, put a primer on them and then put another coat of paint, you'd probably be talking, I'm going to ballpark 2,500, 3,000 easily.
Yeah. And then how much time do you think?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Let's see here. Like, you have a great idea.
That's the thing, like time is money on these deals. Like, yep.
For sure. Absolutely. Question from John and Mary Brown. Is the floor durable if the family wants pets? Good question, John. Do you want to talk a little bit about the flooring you put in for the durability?
Yeah, it's an engineered hardwood floor. There is a warranty on it. We leave all those product warranties with the homeowners. Because it's engineered wood, I think you can sand and refinish up to 2 times. It's a preference, right? Some people like laminate. Laminate is super durable. Same with the vinyl plank. The vinyl plank actually was going to cost more money. So yeah, I think it's durable.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Again, so many compliments. I mean, I don't think I've been hosting these property tours for over a year and a half now. I have never seen this many compliments. Everybody just loves the work you guys have done, the design, the layouts. Again, you didn't do anything structural. You changed those arches, and you put in a few closets, but structurally you didn't change the flow. I can see why you fell in love with the house because of the flow that a lot of times you find a house and you got to really change up the structure of it to give it a better flow. This is a great layout.
Yeah.
And I
Great
think-
question. Okay, go ahead.
Well, there are a lot of people at the open house the wholesaler had, but people were scared off by the price.
Mhm.
And to us, it doesn't matter the acquisition price as long as we can get the ARV, right? So it's just doing the numbers and
Yeah.
don't think small. We can get lenders.
That's right. See, and I'm glad you said that because, it is all about the numbers, right? It's so easy to have emotions. And I love that comment you made about Roy reminding you, this is not your dream home. You're not moving into it. As an investor, sometimes we're like, oh my gosh, if this was mine, this is the way I would want it done. And you got to bite your lip and go, is that what it's going to take to sell it? Are you going to, if you put $2,500 into the cabinets, will you get $3,000 or $3,500 back out of the sale of the house? You got to start looking at those things. And but we got lots of great questions here. So Philemani wanted to know, because you referred to it a couple times, how has that community being a part? You guys got started a couple years ago. How has being a part of the community? How has that helped you guys?
Yeah, so like I said, I tried to get into real estate investing for the last probably decade or so, but I lack the support, the ecosystem. So people who are doing it, who are willing to mentor you. So that's really an avenue that the community has availed to us. Like we said, we participated in like 10 deals in our first year. And that was not because we had a lot of experience. It was because members in the community were working on deals and they brought us on board to participate. That's one way. Then the other way is like finding funding and finding deals, right?
Yeah.
So those have all been helpful. Essentially, acquiring this property, we use the community member. Funding it, we use the community member who lent us their retirement funds. Selling it, a realtor is also from our community. So she's sold it and she actually brought down her commission. So
yeah, we had several realtors in the community run comps for us before. So it for us has been a real estate ecosystem, but we work hard and really care about the relationships we're building. You have to remember, like, I work in healthcare, he worked in film. So also the knowledge and the coaching the community has provided.
Yeah.
Like Roy says, do you want to go fast and do a deal and like risk like making a loss, or do you want to go far? And that's our goal, and thankful for the community for that.
Yeah. So we sometimes when I'm talking to someone who wants to learn more about investing, I do have to remind them really early on that this business is not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
And you guys just referred to that. That's great. And one of the biggest things that, and I'm sure you guys, if you could back up the clock, 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, even just right before you got started, right before you got involved in the community and found the community, I hear this every day from almost everybody that I meet that either has done maybe one deal or is wanting to get started. They always say this one thing, and it is, if I could find more money, I could do more deals. Do you remember, if you could back up the clock 2.5 years ago, did you guys kind of have that mindset too before you found the community?
To be honest, like 2 years ago, we didn't even own our own house because of my PhD debt, and Roy had debt from immigration, and definitely like we were trying to find money for a down payment.
Yeah.
And
one of our wake-up calls is we attended our first-time home buyers class, and then when they presented the amortization schedule, we're like, wait a minute, we're buying this house and we're paying twice the amount we bought it for. So we kind of backed up and said, there's got to be a better way. And so,
yeah, we want our investments to be assets, not liabilities. And one of the things we've learned through the community is called velocity banking. And, we're learning to do that even as we're starting to the process of acquiring rentals. How do we chunk down those payments and replace high interest amortized loans with simple interest? So,
and really right now,
Yeah.
honestly, it's at the point right now where money is not an issue at all. It's just finding the good deal, because people are right now reaching out to us, wanting to lend us their money. And so, yeah, with the right knowledge, like money ends up not being a factor. So.
Yeah, you said it right, Roy, right, with the right knowledge and then the relationships. Those two things are so key. JR up here in Cincinnati is talking about hard money. We don't post like what the actual sources are if anybody's ever used it. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about that? Have you ever used hard money? Have you always used private lenders?
So the previous deals we were working with, they were using hard money. And so we got to learn a lot about that. And, we never rule out needing it because there's a cost to money, right? And the goal is to find the cheapest money you can get. And so we love working with our private lenders, but definitely would use and know how to work with hard money lenders. But you have to know how to vet them. Be careful. There are scams out there. Yes. So you have to, whether it's hard money, private money, it doesn't matter if you know how to vet them and structure it correctly and then make sure your numbers work. Our numbers work best with private money.
And our private lender, unlike hard money, usually they want you to make the interest payments every month. Hard money, our private lender using our retirement account was like, you know what, do the deal and pay me at the end of the deal once you sell it. So yeah, the convenience, the fact that she's a friend in the community, and that relationship goes a long ways. So yeah, we really love the private money.
Would you guys
Absolutely.
like me to
Let's go ahead and
share the numbers? So because we're running out of time.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
My pleasure.
Okay, I've got it up on the screen. Can you guys see the screen? Roy, Anna?
Yeah, I can see it. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you want to go over a little bit about the numbers here?
Yeah. So obviously this isn't line item, but I'll let Roy go over.
Yeah, so we acquired it for $295, including we paid. So the condition on purchase was we had to pay the closing costs
for the sellers.
For the seller. So we paid all that. So that whole amount came up to $206. And then the repair cost.
Did that include? Sorry about that, Roy. Did that include the wholesaler fee?
Yes, that included the wholesaler fee.
I thought so.
Then,
okay.
Which a win-win, the wholesalers in the community, right? So we had all these people in the community have these win-wins.
Yeah. And then the repair costs, we initially projected $60,000. And so we ended up spending a little more. Usually they say the rule of thumb is like you're most likely going to end up spending more than you budgeted for. And we had that contingency built in there as well. And that's why we're really, really conservative when it came to what we're doing, right? So yeah, we spent $63,000 on the repair costs. Then the holding costs, including the utilities, including the insurance and the taxes, that came to $4,092 roundabout. And then the financing for our private lenders, that's say $10,000. And so essentially the total amount invested, private money invested in this was $373,234. And so yeah, we sold this for $445. Then so you can see that the return on investment in this case is we haven't really invested our own money, so it's infinite, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, agent fees at closing, that's going to be $20,000. Selling closing fees, that's $4,000. So yeah, net profit is going to be around about $47,733.
10 weeks, 47 grand, but a lot of work, and it took knowledge, and yeah.
Wow. So 10 weeks for you guys do know that there's a lot of people that don't make 47,000 in a year.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So that's incredible. And just thinking 2 years ago, you guys were just getting started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
So
an
power-
amazing, inspiring story.
Thank you, Scott. Yeah, it's the power of knowledge plus action.
Yeah,
and
knowledge, systems, action, support, community, honestly. Yeah, we could never do this on our own. I don't think.
No, and I should think, Roy, like when, we got introduced to the community through a friend of a friend, and he knew right away this is for us. And I'm so glad. I was like, I can do my own research. I'm a researcher. And as soon as I got involved and started learning, I'm like, oh my goodness, it just accelerated and has given us a solid foundation. It's made us confident to do any sort of deal that comes across our desk.
Well, Roy, Anna, this has been an amazing property tour. We're getting close to our wrap-up time. You talked about the software. We have one last question here. Roy, what were you referring to? I know what you're referring to, but can you explain a little bit about the software before we wrap up today?
Sure. So we are in private investors. We don't hold any licenses. We're not realtors, except for our driving license, of course. So essentially, the software we have enabled us to see what properties have sold. We call it the iOS, Investor Operating Software System. So this really helps us get access to MLS data, right? What realtors have access to all across the country. So essentially we can run comps on any property anywhere in the country. So that helped us to know, okay, what properties have sold within the last 30, 60 days.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah. So whatever you really want to customize. Then that software also helped us determine what are the repairs going to cost, right? So because you can walk through the property and it's plugged into Home Depot. So essentially you're able to know what the windows are going to cost or what the cabinets are going to cost. So right off the bat, you know what you should offer for you to make a profit because you're bearing in mind how much the project is going to cost you.
Yeah, and like we said, we made an offer before we saw this place, but we ran a lot of scenarios within that software of like, if we put this much money into it, what's our ROI? If we have hard money versus private money. So we knew all of that before closing.
And even knowing the background of the property, what did they acquire it for, who owns the property, all of those kind of come into play, which we have access to that information. When you're making an offer and you have that background knowledge of who owns it, do they actually own it or do they have something going on? Is it upside down? That gives you a lot of leverage when you're negotiating.
So Roy and Anna, to wrap up here, just a little bit on that iOS, that software program that we have access to in our community. You can learn more about that like in this next hour coming up. If you want to jump on the business introduction meeting, reach out to whoever invited you today. They can get you registered and send you a link. Or there's other events throughout the week that someone can connect you to learn about that iOS software. Again, I want to thank you, Roy. Thank you, Anna. I can't wait to get you back in your next deal. And this is let's see, is this the second time you've been on the tours? Yeah, this is your second one, isn't it? Absolutely. So I just can't wait for the next one. I'm excited. I'm like a kid, like in a candy store. What's it going to be next time? So
we really appreciate you, Scott, for this opportunity to just share with people across the country and about the possibilities. Because sometimes when you tell somebody out of state, they're like, does this apply to me in a different state? Yeah. So really appreciate you putting this together.
And we will definitely be on the one next week in Hawaii. So thanks, Scott.
Well, thanks, guys. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna wrap up. Please come out next Saturday, and it'll be at 11 o'clock. Same link. We'd love to see you guys, and you guys have a great weekend. Stay warm, stay safe, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Bye.